Welcome back to B Wayne Presents, sponsored by Promarketize. Don't just advertise, Promarketize. As always, I'm your host, B Wayne, and I have with me today Miss Shia. What's up, Shia?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for participating. You doing okay?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you. I can't
Awesome.
complain.
Awesome. So, in your own words, we'll go ahead and get it started. Give us your name, your age, and where you're located.
All right. So my name is Shia. I am 43. I am located in Charlotte, North Carolina. Uh, what else did you ask me?
That's it.
No.
That's it. But I do have a question. I do have a question before
Uh-huh.
we even get any further into it. And I'm just
Okay.
curious, and if you don't want to put it out there, that's fine. But Shia, is that short for, is that an abbreviation? Is that a
Yes, my
nickname?
full name is Tashia, and I go by Shia. Yes.
Does your name have a like a particular meaning or
It was. It does have a meaning in the Asian language,
okay.
but my mom didn't pick it because of that. She liked the name Toshiba, and she just took out the B. So
I like
Tashia.
that name. I like that name too. Okay. To Shia. I love it. But
Hmm.
you go by Shia for short.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you're in Charlotte. I know you're not in Charlotte now. I'm not gonna put your business out there. You out somewhere doing your thing, but
Right.
you are a Charlottean. How do you like
Correct.
Charlotte? What do you think about Charlotte?
I like Charlotte. I've heard that it's a. I'm sorry.
You're good.
I'm pressing buttons. I've heard that it's been considered like a big country. And I feel like I'm a country girl. I was raised in West Virginia, so it kind of lines up for. Don't do that. We there. Um,
So you knew that's where I was going with
I
that. You
knew that's
already
where
knew.
you're going. We're there.
So
We're
you and
there.
all five other y'all, right?
Listen, 2.5, but
Got it.
we there, and I kind of liked having the accessibility of a city, but still kind of have that country feel bit. So I like Charlotte for that. And I actually like Charlotte because every day of the week there is something to do. And if you're here and you're not doing anything, it's because you don't want to do it.
Like
It
me.
doesn't matter what your work schedule is. You work Monday through Wednesday, there's something for you to do Thursday and Friday. If you work Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, there's something for you to do Monday and Wednesday.
She ain't lying. She's telling the truth, but I'm a homebody.
So
I love being at home. There's no place
listen,
I
I
would
like
rather
being
be.
listen, I enjoy my own company too. But I'm just saying, like, for people that are really like socialites and, claim to fame, there's nothing to do. There's always something to do. And I mean, even if it's going to a coffee shop, or even if it's a book reading, or even if it's a sip and paint, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be. I've migrated away from clubs. So I enjoy stuff like outdoorsy, karaoke, the escape rooms, like going to listen to the live bands and stuff like that. So there's always something to do.
Well, speaking of having a well, and you actually kind of broke it down. You sound like you get into a little bit of everything. Do you have any particular hobbies or passions, things that you're
Y-
really passionate about?
Yeah, so I love to hike, and I've been doing that for about a straight year. And I'm really big into my fitness. Um, it should have been a long time ago, but if was a fifth, where we
We'd
eat,
all be drunk.
we'd all be drunk. So I'm really heavy into that, and I love water sports. And again, I will just look on Eventbrite and look for free stuff or effective, efficient stuff. And then I just go do it. So I love to do things like, I always feel like I'm Jeffrey. I'm a Toys R Us kid. I don't want to grow up. So I love to do things that are competitive. So laser tag, bowling, pool, like different things like that. So, um, or flip side, I might like to go to a little lounge, and I don't know if this is promoting something bad, but a cigar lounge. I enjoy a nice cigar, and if I'm going to drink, the matching drink that I feel complements the cigar.
You know, I've actually never been to a cigar lounge.
Well, I thoroughly enjoy them, but I know that it's a tobacco, but I enjoy a nice cigar. I actually have a series that I like, and they pair very nicely with rum or an old fashioned. So
What you want to plug the series? I don't mind.
it's the Deadwood series. The
Okay.
Deadwood series, or I like Cohibas, uh Acid is a nice series as well. Those are my three go to.
I don't mind cigars. Like I, I don't. I'm not a smoker, but I mean, it's not like you're actually inhaling the
You don't.
cigar, right? Right.
You can
Yeah.
if you want to be sick.
Right. Right.
Which I know
Exactly.
because that's happened to me when I went to Aruba. I accidentally inhaled cigar smoke. It's
Coughing,
terrible.
choking, puking, the
Oh my
whole
God,
nine.
dizzy? You talking about dizzy?
Oh no,
When I tell you I had to put myself on timeout for a minute, I had to take a good 30.
that sounds extremely unpleasant. And you were in
Yeah.
Aruba when this happened,
Yeah, I was. I was like,
so
what a way. So I had to pause on my little vacation for a minute and then come back.
you like to travel. Where else have you gone besides Aruba? And what was your favorite
London,
destination?
London, the Bahamas. Um, I'm doing a lot of traveling now in the US. So Georgia, Louisiana, Alabama, uh, and of course Cali and my favorite would have to be Aruba because Aruba at the time that I went was considered one of the happiest places to be. And I see why it was because when we got there, they broke it down like, yeah, y'all Americans coming over here, we don't rush anything. If you need anything done, you better have done it before you got to the island because they're very much like easygoing. And that's exactly what I needed. Like I just needed something easy going. Um, so Aruba would have to be my favorite, my all-time favorite, because it was so relaxing. I didn't need a vacation coming back from the vacation.
Sounds good.
Hmm.
What's your ideal spot that you haven't been to yet, but you love to visit?
I want to go to Africa. I this year I plan to do the 23andMe to figure out which part of Africa I'm predominantly from, and then I'm going to plan a trip to Africa.
Very cool. Very cool.
I'm
I've
hoping
heard
Ghana.
great things about.
I'm hoping Ghana is what Ghana.
If you when I the people that I've met, they say that's where you want to go. They say that's where you want to
Yeah,
go. So
I'm hoping I'm Ghanaian
okay.
majority.
But even if you're not, you want to go to where your roots are.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
wherever. Yeah, yeah.
All right. I never thought about that.
Hmm.
Okay. Is now all of this traveling, I is it safe to assume you are not a mommy?
I am a mommy. I'm a mommy of older children though. So I have a 16-year-old daughter and a 22-year-old son. So I am just about an empty nester. However, I don't believe in kicking my kids out when they're ready to go. They can go because too often we kick them out and they don't have all of the tools that they need, and that's what I'm here for, support. So
I would probably
yeah,
still be at home now if I could be with craziest things are. You know how much I pay for rent? And where I stay is ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense.
listen, listen. I'm all about community building, so I'm loving what you're doing here, bringing people together, honey. Because we out here hurting, and ain't nobody sitting here trying to bring us together. So we got to do it ourselves.
I
So
appreciate
I
that.
commend
Thank
you
you,
for that.
sis. Thank you, sis. Let's talk about it. So out here in the dating world, I assume that's what you're referring to. What is it from your perspective? We're not going. Social media has its perspective from what you've seen and what you've experienced. What do you think about the dating scene in 2025?
I am so because I'm a nurse by trade. I think of it clinically, like hurt. There's hurt people out here hurting people, and no one's really looking for a solution, and everybody's pointing fingers, and nobody wants to be held accountable on a lot of people's side, and it's so much easier to shift blame onto the opposite sex, as to why things aren't successful when we all play a part. And the thing is, that's what I believe that people are, and I was once one of these people, when you don't hold yourself accountable in how something thrives or fails. And that's what people don't want to do. It's almost like, remember, like when we were younger, I remember hearing my mom would be like to my dad, come get your daughter if I did something bad. But it was, look what my girl did if I did something good. And that's essentially the feel of dating a little bit now. And because everything is so instant and then everything is so 10 minutes ago, everybody wants to be super happy, but a lot of people, you're not happy in yourself. You know what I mean? Like, therapy is really needed. You know what I mean? And I do therapy. I love therapy because you don't know how much stuff that the way that you move through your adult life, you'll be so surprised about how much from your childhood and your teenage years cause you to move the way that you move. Even in the fact that you don't want to accept accountability in a situation that you are part of, that's almost like a child. You know what I mean? So some of us still kind of have those sort of tendencies. So the net of all of that is just like hurt people are hurting people, kind of is what I'm getting. And so nobody really knows how to navigate through the hurt to get to the good times. And then people think that you're supposed to have this perpetual, endless well of happiness. It's not always going to be happy. You know, you're going to have some hardship in your happiness as well. But if you really want your happiness, you're going to make it happen by any means necessary. So that
I
means
feel
that
like,
go ahead.
go, no, I'm sorry. That means, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so that means that if we have to have tough conversations, if we have to, you know, make concessions or different things, you got to work through it. Everything takes work. Like when you show up for a job, you're not going to love it every single day, but you go and do it because you feel like, oh, it's going to pay me. Well, if you build with a person and you like with your job, you're going to have learning curves, you're going to have things that you have to work through. That's the payoff, is going to be the fact that you have developed a relationship with someone that you actually like, not just love, you like the person. And I think that is needed, like realizing you need to like the person that you're going to do life with, not just love them, because love is kind of fleeting. You need to like them because like can segue you into respect and a lot of things.
I think that's why they tell us, all the songs that we used to hear, be a friend first, develop a friendship first. And I never really understood why. And then I finally one day God gave me the revelation. It's basically there's an honesty and a sincerity and a vulnerability that a person is willing to share with a friend that they're not necessarily willing to share with a lover or someone they
Amen. You better
love.
say that. You better say
And
that. Yes.
so building a friendship is pivotal. I feel like we don't listen to each other, we don't hear each other. I feel like there's a lack of respect between men and women nowadays. How do you think we begin to resolve or kind of correct?
I would say throw out expectations and don't believe the hype. Like the algorithm would have me believing that I'm just going to be some old spinster, all men hate women and all these things, and all women hate men. But in my everyday life, I'm not seeing what the algorithm is pushing on me. I'm not seeing it. Like for me, men open doors for me, and I say thank you immediately. Like immediately, no issue. Yes, I can get the door, but guess what? God graced me with a man to come and open this door, and I want to say thank you. And I say it, thank you, immediately. So, like, don't believe the hype. Don't spend too long on these like clips that come through because that's what's feeding this. And also, um, removing those expectations. You know what I mean? And people's standards, like learning the difference between an expectation and a standard. And then knowing that we're not just dating, we're looking to engage in a covenant with a person, not just marriage with a person. Marriage is it technically is a piece of paper, is a contract, is however people try to wrap it up. But what we desire is a covenant that shouldn't be easily broken. And sometimes we can be, you know, I believe in God. As children, we can be hard headed. You know what I mean? But he gives us free will and he gives us grace. And that's what we should be extending to the people we say we love or we're trying to get to know.
Ladies that are listening, you heard she say somebody opens the door for her, she's gonna say thank you. Um, show a little bit of gratitude. It doesn't take but a second. It doesn't cost you anything to say thank you when a brother is trying to be a gentleman, is trying to show respect. Like it means something. So it will behoove you to show appreciation. At the same time, fellas, you're not owed a thank you. You held the door open because that's what you chose to do. She didn't ask you to do it. You didn't do it to get a response or to get anything from her. You're doing it because in your heart, that's who you are. So don't get bent out of shape and don't take it personal if they don't respond. You don't know what she's going through, what's on her mind. She could be oblivious. You don't know what she's dealing with in that moment. Don't take it personal. Let's talk about your ideal person. Who do you see yourself as the person that, okay, yeah, that's my dude?
Um, the person's gonna be God fearing, and I don't really have a type. So, hard. I would just say like hardworking, honest, loyal. Um, just the qualities of a leader. That's about it. You know what I mean? And only time would tell, and our interaction would tell how it resonates with me, their leadership skills.
How long have you been single?
I have been single for going on 2 years now.
You date a lot? And when I say a lot, I don't mean like every night you out on another date, but I mean, have you partaken in the dating experience, and what
Yes,
has it been?
yes.
Okay.
I've been dating. Um, However, where I'm at this point, I've been lucky to run into men that are upfront about what they desire, and if we align, and also us going ahead and letting one another know that we don't align in certain areas, and not trying to force anything just because he may be attractive and I'm attractive. And so I think that's why I'm saying like the stuff that people are talking about online, I haven't been experiencing it because I don't know if I'm just blessed. But even if someone is saying like, "Hey, you're an awesome woman," we just don't align. Like the trajectory of my life is going in this direction and you're headed in that direction. Would love to try to build a friendship possibly, but anything romantic, it wouldn't work. And which I can respect that. You know what I mean? How Because people will try to fit you in a box, even though stuff is not working. It's like I respect someone who knows what they want, knows what they value, and even if it's wrapped up in a pretty package, is willing to say, "Hey, you are dope, but you're not for me."
How do you keep yourself from taking that as a rejection?
It is a
It,
rejection. It's a rejection.
fair
I
enough.
just pivot.
Fair
I
enough.
just pivot. I mean,
So
and
how do you keep yourself from taking that? And I love that you said that. How do you keep yourself from taking that rejection personally and
okay.
allowing it to get inside your psyche and make you feel away?
Well, the thing is, because like I said, I've been blessed to interact with men who know how to communicate and are upfront with that and saying, "Hey, like you're just not my person." Doesn't mean that they don't find value in me. It just means that they know the type of partner that they need. So that's how I'm able to pivot because I would rather you do that than to continue to date me and continue to have me invested. And then we both realize, like, yeah, this ain't it.
How do we get people to understand? I know not everybody can afford it, but more people can afford it. At least you can go a couple of times. Talking about therapy. How do we get people to understand the value and respect the value of therapy and get, that, what, you're not perfect and there are some areas that you could probably work on. How do we get people to see that and
I'm
understand
gonna
that?
say this, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but therapy is not that expensive because you can do online therapy. And can I plug BetterHelp real quick? That's
Feel
who I
free.
do my therapy through. They're online. There's no reason why you can't go get help. You can choose the type of therapist that you want. Then they also offer scholarships. So if you say that, oh, this is too expensive, they give you a discounted rate for a certain amount of months. So you can get the help. Not going to YouTube and watching some manosphere type stuff or, woman sphere type stuff. No, an actual certified therapist to come and like do a deep dive into why you may be having certain thoughts. Is your mental health is just as important as your physical health because your mental health, like even with me, it's been a huge part of even my fitness journey because there are days when I'm like, I might feel emotional. I might be having a pity party and I need to talk to my therapist like, this is what I'm going through. Of course, they can't tell you, what to do, but they do give you the tools in order to help you navigate these situations that we all experience. So, I mean, if you want to be good for your partner, you have to be good for you. And getting mental help and also your emotional help, that is being good to you. That's part of self care.
Not to mention the fact that number one, you have to be healthy mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually to be healthy. And I also throw in financially, but a lot of
Mhm.
times that we have the least control over that. Your mental well-being, physical, emotional, spiritual, you have more control over that. And it's important even as a single person because if you're unhealthy, you will become attracted to or you will attract people who are not healthy. All types of narcissists and people who, will take advantage or attempt to take advantage of you and individuals who are toxic and dysfunctional and that's not the type of
I
stuff that
mean,
you want
not
to
only
deal with.
that,
So
you can be the narcissist. You can
you
be the
could be the
person that's
narcissist.
toxic.
Absolutely.
You can be the
Absolutely.
person that's, I mean, even think about this, too much in excess is a bad thing. So, say you're a giver, you're going to keep giving and giving until you have nothing left. And whoever this taker is going to keep taking and taking until you have nothing left. So, that's just as bad. Like those spectrums are just as bad. So,
It
it,
is a form of dysfunction. People tend to overcompensate with giving because of a self-perceived lower or lesser value or self-worth. So they
or
tend to
they're
give
hiding
more
from
than they
something.
should, or they're hiding for something.
They're hiding, they're
Absolutely.
running. Yeah.
100%. I agree. So better help.
Better
And I
help.
respect
Yep.
even if you're even now, not to take anything away from what she said. I agree 100%. But I respect a person who will get online and get on Google and get on YouTube and get a book and find a
Oh,
pastor
yeah.
and do what, find somebody. Even if you're, yes, should you do therapy? Yes. But even if you haven't gotten to that point yet, if you're doing the work, if you're, what, I'm going to work out instead of sitting in my room crying, let me go work out or go for a walk. Let me change how I'm eating. Let me cut back on my alcohol. Let me get on
Mhm.
YouTube and Google and look up what these traits are and see why I attract what I attract. So do the work. Even if you're seeing a therapist, do the work. There's work you can do.
Well, and the one thing that's key in what you just said is that someone realized that there was an issue and took accountability for their part in it. And that's the only way, like a lot of us lack taking accountability for where we're at. And sometimes it is a hard pill to swallow,
Brings us
especially
back to
depending
what
on
you
your
said in the
age.
very beginning. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Because we get set in our ways. That brings you back? That brings me back to what you brought up in the very beginning. Why do you think it is so difficult for people? And I know there's a stereotype that women do not want to take accountability. I ain't even gonna call it a stereotype. It is what it is, ladies. A lot of y'all don't want to take accountability. So there I said it. However, that being said, men, we have our problems. God knows we're far
Mhm.
from perfect. And a lot of the issues, I will go as far as to say a lot of the issues that women have as a whole in general are caused by men and our stuff. Why do you think that it has become so difficult for people to look in the mirror and say, you know what, that's on me?
Because it's easier to be a victim. And you've got to have a villain in every story. And why would I be the villain? That doesn't make sense. But but no, like it is easier to be the person that's in distress.
That's
It
deep.
is,
That's deep.
you get more sympathy and you get more, you know, F 'em girl, when it's like that. But really think about
Instead of
how
being
many
like,
times.
nah, you know what, you was kind of wrong. You were kind of wrong in that area. What you did, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's difficult. Actually, that's funny that we brought that up because I have fallen out with a friend of mine. Um, we were talking about she was in that weird breakup phase with her boyfriend and she like sent me some text messages thinking she flexed like look what he was saying and I said but look what you were saying. I was like, A, as your friend, you're never gonna talk to me like that. You ain't never gonna insult me like that and think that I'm gonna come back to you. Think that you're gonna step foot in my house? Nah, you're gonna have to get up out of here. You got to go. And so she was upset with me because I was telling her, like, you disrespected that man and you thought he was gonna come back. Ma, your mouth is reckless. You're reckless. I said, because you couldn't talk to me like that. And I love you. And we're friends, and you can't talk to me like that. So I couldn't be your man and you saying that you love me. and you're talking to me like that. Nah.
That's probably because she's used to saying reckless things that God's still coming back.
Clearly, because but also I know me. Like I know I used to have a mouth back in the day. But, that's when I was younger and I was thought as a child, but now I'm an adult and I can communicate and I know what hurts me. So why would I hurt? I don't want to hurt the person that I'm interested in. I want to be gentle with that person. I want to lift that person up. But it's taken me time to get to this point. It's taking me time to get to this point. Now don't get it twisted. And she's still there. She ain't gone. But but I don't have to use her as often. You know what I mean? So,
I'm the type, I'm not getting into it. I'm not, the moment, you know, if you're toxic and I realize you're toxic, I'm just gonna go ahead and slide left. I'm gonna remove myself from that situation. I'm not
as you
gonna
should.
get into a war or a battle to try to fight to prove because you can't make somebody love or respect you. You can't make anybody appreciate you. You can't make anybody want you. So you just have to move on to somebody who does the things that you
Mhm.
need and want without you even have to ask for them.
Right. This is really true. And I've been in a situation where I've thought I wanted to be with someone and they just weren't reciprocating it the way that I needed. And as much as I didn't want to, I had to go where I'm appreciated and not tolerated. And that's me just being with me for right now. But and I wish that person well. Like my last relationship, I said, I wish you well. I said, my only parting thing, give to you is that whoever you find, make sure they tick your boxes before you get with them because it's not fair to put someone in a box. You
Couple
need to
more
find.
things.
Hmm.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your point. I'm sorry.
No, that was it. It's just like, don't put this person in a box to fit your box. You need to make sure that you're going to align with this person.
Amen. Couple of more things. I'm gonna get you out of here.
Hmm.
Two more questions. So one, you brought something up. Go where you're appreciated, not tolerated, and sometimes that means just being in your own presence, right? Why do
Hmm.
you think people are so bothered by being alone? Taking time to hit the reset, taking time to heal, taking time to just work on and focus on themselves. Why do you think people are seem to be so against that?
Because there's a negative stigma on being by yourself, kind of like mental health. There's why are you by yourself? I mean, I could just enjoy my own company, but we just get used to having some form of attention, some form either we're getting attention or we're paying attention. And so you kind of become detached from yourself a little bit. And then you also look for validation in other people. You get what I mean? Validation is for parking, it ain't for us.
I love it. I love it.
So
That's
I
a
think
whole
that's
word
kind of
right
what it
there.
is. Yeah.
That's a whole word. I think that's a lot of what it is what you just said. You hit the nail on the head. Last question, shit. I'm gonna get you out of here.
Okay.
If there was one thing that you would want people to know about you, like last words or something that you would want a potential suitor to know, words of wisdom, anything about yourself that is important to you, what would it be?
Um, I would say that I am a magnifier. And in saying that, I'm going to magnify whatever you're bringing. So if it's good, it's going to be magnified tenfold over. If it's bad, it's going to be magnified tenfold over. So, I mean, if it's bad, I'm not going to be saying anyway, but you're going to be able to feel it's good. You're going to be able to feel it. And ultimately, I would just say show up as who you are. Like, I never answer the question, what are you looking for in a man? He should already be the man he's supposed to be or almost close to it. So I don't want to give anybody a cheat code to the man that you know, you should already be the man that you're supposed to be. And I'm here to help get you whatever else you want to. I'm a helpmate. So be where
I
you
was
need to
just,
be
I
already.
was, when you said you were a magnifier, what the word that came to mind was help me. And I'm not even sure why. I'm like, why does that word resonate? But that's what came up.
Yeah. So
So maybe like an amplifier, a magnifier. That's kind of maybe I don't know. Maybe we've kind of tapped into what. is that the essence of what God intended when He said a helpmate.
Yeah. To help you get to your goal. I mean, because at the end of the day, if if my partner wins, we win because
An
I'm supposed
investment.
to be there to be helping. So it's not just you, it's we. And then if you have a good partner, anytime you express that you have a dream, or how I would envision my partner is while I'm magnifying and helping you get the keys to the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? When I'm ready for my dreams to come to fruition, you can be like, you know what? No worries. I got you.
And in order to get to where you want to go, and you're trying to assist that person in getting to where they want to go, reaching their dreams, you have to first know exactly where you are. And that's where the amplification and the magnification comes in. I love it. I love it. Final words.
Final words like what?
Anything you want to say?
Um, in regards, I think this is great. This is great. I have had a great time. I appreciate you. Um, and I'm interested to see what the outcome is.
So am I.
Hmm.
Enjoy what you're doing, where you are. Have fun over way over there on the other side. When you coming back
Right.
home?
I will be back actually tomorrow. I'll be flying back in tomorrow.
On the red eye or what?
It'll be a red eye. Yeah.
Look, look. How long does it take? Was that your first trip over there or no?
No, it was my
How
first.
how
I did a red eye coming out here.
how
I
long
was
does it
like,
take to acclimate? How long does it take before you're like, okay, all right, I'm straight, I'm good. Once you land.
it's a I think last time I came, I stayed about a week or so. Towards the middle to end of the week, I was acclimated, and then I flew back, and I was like, "Oh man,
That's why they
yeah,
call it jet
that
lag.
time difference. Yeah, that time difference is tough."
Have fun. I pray you have a blessed and safe return trip home. Guys, if you want to reach out to Shia, her information, you can get in touch through the comments or you can direct message her. That information will be in the description box. Shia, thank you so much for your time.
All right, thank you.
Take care.
All right, bye.